This is one of the few love stories without car crashes, terminal illness, or amnesia, yet it still made countless viewers cry until they collapsed. Many even refused to believe it was real, because they couldn't imagine a love this perfectly matched could truly exist. The story begins on a night when the last train had already left. 4 strangers ended up killing time at the same bar. 2 of them quickly bonded over movies, while the pair sitting opposite stayed quiet. Suddenly, the guy noticed a famous anime director sitting nearby. Excited, he told the chatty pair, but they shrugged, saying they'd never heard of him. A trace of disappointment flashed across his eyes, though he failed to notice the girl behind him lighting up in surprise. After leaving the bar, the 2 who bonded shared a cab. The remaining 2 politely said goodbye, until the girl suddenly called out to him. Turns out, she recognized the anime director too. That tiny spark of shared passion instantly opened the floodgates. They started ranting about the other 2's ignorance, laughing all the way from the dark streets to a coffee shop. Soon, they realized their similarities ran deeper than one coincidence. They wore the same white sneakers. Their earphones always tangled the same way. Their favorite book was the same one, and they could recite the lines together without skipping a beat. They even missed the same movie that night, prompting a shared laugh when their eyes met. It felt like the universe had aligned just to pull them together. From casual conversation to deep late-night talks, they wandered from empty streets to a karaoke booth, always finding a new topic before the last ended, always sensing the other person's mood without words. Even their thoughts on silly things matched, like why cloth could beat stone in rock, paper, scissors. Rain suddenly poured down. He took her to his place to wait it out, and the moment she stepped in, she froze. The books on his shelves were exactly the titles she loved. She flipped through his sketches, drawn with freedom and dreams, while he gently dried her rain-soaked hair with a blow-dryer. Their hearts drew closer with every second. Even with the harsh sound of the blow-dryer, they could hear each other's heartbeat. And maybe that was when something soft and fragile began to grow between them. From that night on, the invisible string between them only tightened. He said his drawings were immature, yet her praise made him proud. She claimed she liked being alone, yet now she found herself missing him. Every time they met, their smiles were the purest versions of themselves. They ordered the same coffee without discussing it. Even the crowded subway felt warm when they were together. Ordinary commutes suddenly felt like soft, glowing dates. But both knew the truth. If they kept pretending to be just friends, their feelings would eventually fade into frustration. So one day, they finally voiced what had been obvious for a long time. He asked if she'd be his girlfriend. She didn't hesitate. She said yes. It felt like an empty bottle had finally found its matching lid. Their hearts clicked into place, and love poured in effortlessly. They walked to a crosswalk. The red light wouldn't turn green. For the first time, neither had anything to say. They simply leaned closer under the night sky and kissed. That one kiss sealed everything. Like all couples drunk on new love, they clung to each other constantly. They tried new things, stayed home for a week straight, lived on warmth and laughter. They created a bouquet-like love, fragrant, bright, intoxicating. They believed they were meant to be. They believed forever was within reach. But love, no matter how intense, is never guaranteed. Time passed. They captured countless moments in photos, fragments of happiness they thought would last forever. She tried to blend into his life and met his tattoo artist friends. One tattooed couple especially struck her. They loved wildly, lived boldly. Soon, a full year passed. In the heat of summer, he was sketching when her call arrived. She pretended to be fine, but he heard the tremble in her voice. Her job interview had gone terribly. He dropped everything, sprinted through a packed subway, and hugged her before she could speak. He couldn't stand the thought of her crying alone, so he suggested they move in together. They found a tiny apartment with wide windows and a direct view of the giant bridge. They decorated it little by little, shaping it into a home only they could create. A bakery downstairs became part of their daily ritual, run by an elderly couple who felt like living proof that love could last. They ate simple bread like it was a feast, as if the whole world radiated warmth through their tiny routine. He started selling his illustrations online at 1,000 yen per piece. She got a temporary job at an ice cream shop. Every night, he waited at the same street corner to walk her home. Their 30-minute stroll under the bridge became the sweetest part of their day. On Christmas, they exchanged gifts, matching earphones, without planning it. Time didn't wash away their innocence. They still cried together over sad manga. They adopted a stray kitten and named it Duke, a tiny creature that warmed their cold winter. Spring arrived, marking their 3rd year together. They met each other's parents for the first time, but neither set of parents approved. They were too young, too uncertain, too unprepared. That was the first time the pressure of reality brushed against their perfect world. His illustration income dropped to 1,000 yen for 3 drawings. Money tightened, dreams wavered, so he made a decision. He would start looking for a real job, and everything began to change. Finding a job became their biggest mission of the year. He cut his hair, dressed like an adult, and went to interviews with her encouragement. That same year, Makoto Shinkai released Your Name, but neither of them watched it. Endless interviews and resumes filled every night. She found a stable accounting job first. He didn't. For the first time, she started moving ahead without him, not out of pride, just life. It wasn't until their 4th year that he finally landed a job at a growing logistics company. He was relieved. She was proud. They celebrated by buying a game console they'd dreamed of for years. But they never opened it. Work swallowed him whole. The boy who once rushed through the subway to hug her now fell asleep before movies. The boy who once waited under the bridge every night now barely had time for a quick dinner. He stopped going to her ice cream shop. He missed their favorite films. He missed their traditions. He didn't notice that life had shifted from us to work. One night, she had dinner with friends and learned shocking news. The tattoo couple she admired had broken up. For the first time, doubt crept into her heart. If even that couple couldn't last, then what about them? She told him the story that night. He barely looked up from his bowl. Somewhere along the way, their conversations had changed. He talked only about work. She talked only about missing him. Silence filled the gaps. Patience thinned. Even their pre-booked movie dates kept getting postponed. It's okay, maybe next time, chipped a piece off her heart. He finally noticed her disappointment, but instead of comforting her, he snapped. Arguments exploded. Tiny misunderstandings turned into fights. The warmth between them thinned like stretched paper. He grew busier. She quit her job, burned out, and only told him afterward. He was shocked. He didn't understand why she'd leave a stable job for hobbies, why she wanted to work with comics, escape rooms, script writing. She said, "I just want to do what I love." He said, "Work isn't play. What if that company collapses?" Words hardened. He raised his voice. She finally cried, so he tried to fix it the only way he knew. "Fine, let's get married. I'll make money. You stay home." She froze. It didn't sound like a proposal. It sounded tired, practical, hollow. Her heart cracked quietly. Her new boss later told her, "It's lonelier to be unhappy together than lonely alone," and she understood that too well. His coworker passed away unexpectedly. Grief hit him hard. He wanted to talk. He wanted her comfort. But that night, she simply said, "Good night," and walked away. Not out of cruelty, just exhaustion. He drank alone, cried alone, and stood by the river, wondering when he had become invisible. She realized her mistake the next morning, but when she reached for him, he turned away. Their timing was always off now. Their hearts were no longer synchronized. That night, he tried to kiss her. Their first kiss in months. It felt stiff, foreign. They saw their favorite night view, only to realize it wasn't as beautiful anymore. They attended a friend's wedding, a perfect couple, a perfect ceremony, and in the glow of someone else's happiness, they both silently made the same decision. It was time to end it. They walked the familiar streets, returned to their old cafe, but their favorite seat was taken by another young couple, wearing matching white shoes, exchanging shy smiles, just like they once did. They scrolled through old photos together, smiled, hurt. Finally, she said softly, "I'll keep the happy memories. You should too." He nodded, but tears streamed down his face. "Or, we could get married? It has to be better than breaking up." He believed love could be rebuilt through marriage. He believed routine could replace passion. He believed couples survive by enduring, not understanding. But she knew. They were no longer from the same world. They couldn't go back. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Her silence said everything. We Made a Beautiful Bouquet is a Japanese romance that focuses on the emotional growth of modern young adults, tracing love's journey from full bloom to gentle withering with delicate, true-to-life detail. The film avoids dramatic conflicts, instead using everyday moments to restore the complete portrait of a soul-resonating relationship, from the chance encounter after missing the last train, to falling in love through shared niche interests in books, music, and films, and then walking together from youthful campus life into the harsh adjustments of adult reality. It captures love's two defining phases with painful accuracy: the early sweetness of "you understand my weirdness," and the later distance born from growing at different speeds. Through this contrast, the film lays bare the tension between holding on to ideals and compromising with reality, a struggle familiar to today's young couples. In the end, this relationship, as radiant as a bouquet yet destined to fade, concludes with a graceful goodbye, expressing the idea that having loved is its own kind of completeness. It invites the audience to feel both the ache of lost love and the clarity that comes with growing up.